Now invite Dr. Chirag Palyan sir, the co-chairperson of the ISC conference and associate professor at the Patil University School of Law, to set the context for the conference and guide us into the discussions that lie ahead.
Thank you, Anshina. On behalf of D.Y. Patil School of Law and Indian Society of Criminology, we welcome you all to this conference. I will just set the context of the conference. The architect of the criminalization. It's not architecture of criminal law, it's architecture of criminalization. The labeling of criminalization which is happening. The mechanism of criminalization which is happening. Not necessarily by legislature. Criminalization could also happen by courts, by prosecutors, and also by legislature and executive. So criminalization is a phenomenon. We need to ask a question to ourselves, is there an architecture of this criminalization? Is there an underlying normative philosophy behind criminalization? It is very easy for us to label any wrong as a crime. You want to say that for me to stand here and speak should be criminalized. You in your wisdom can declare that. But for it to be sustainable, for it to be legitimate within the four walls of the Constitution, there should be some normative basis of the criminalization. The journey to find this normative basis is the journey to develop the architecture of criminalization. The purpose is that the criminalization should not be indiscriminate. It should not be because of the whims of somebody. Criminalization must be principled. And there are two important developments because of which the existing architecture is bit in tension. The first is the security state. Everything can be justified on the count of security. Take the example of UAPA, take the example of economic security, which is PMLA, take the example of preventive powers of police under Navi Suraksha Sanhita. Whenever the security logic comes, the preventive state kicks in. And the moment there is a preventive state, we tend to criminalize even before the offense is committed. Preventive state criminalize on the ground of dangerousness. That the conduct of the accused is dangerous, or it causes criminalization because of the perceived risk. No harm has happened, and therefore all those traditional theories which insist on concepts like existence of harm, we wonder where do they go when the preventive state kicks in. The second important development is the digital governance, algorithmic governance, tech-mediated criminal justice, wherein we are increasingly using technology to deal with criminal law. Again, the fundamental architecture on which the criminal law is premised comes into question. It is to discuss these themes, these ideas we have developed the 3 days of this international conference, wherein we have number of plenary sessions, number of panel discussions, which stretches to questions like, do we need limits on criminal law? Does India have a problem of over-criminalization? What are the recent advances in forensics and investigation? Does the harm principle and violence principle require re-examination in the age of social media? To underscore these developments, we have amongst ourselves one of the legendary figures in criminal law, who is going to take us to the transition of criminology. So I invite Professor Dr. B.B. Pandey sir to come on the dais, who will be giving the keynote speech. Sir, please. Yes, please sit. Join the dais. The format is, sir will give the speech. Professor Pandey do not require an introduction. He is one of the, as I mentioned, when we say somebody as legend, I think that word in itself describes that person. A former president of Indian Society of Criminology has held every esteemed position in Indian academia, research, trained number of judicial officers, police officers, criminologists. No amount of introduction can do justice to a figure like this. Sir is our keynote speaker. Apart from him, we have other eminent experts who will be the discussants. They would share their short opinions, insights on his speech, which is Transition in Criminology. Therefore, in no particular order, I invite Professor Dr. Arvind Tiwari sir on the dais, Professor Dr. Balraj Chauhan sir, Professor Madhavan sir, Chairman of Indian Society of Criminology, Professor N.K. Chakrabarty sir, President of Indian Society of Criminology. We will have the detailed introductions when after the innovation. Right now, it's more like what we say in the Bollywood terms. It is the trailer right now, what you are seeing. And this trailer is going to be a super hit because we have a stellar panel here. So I welcome all these dignitaries and I request Professor Pandey to start his speech. Sir, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Chirag Balyan. Thank you very much for making me the opening batsman. That's a little unfair. But because perhaps I'm the oldest Indian Society of Criminology present here. Arvind Tiwari followed me and Dr. Khan couldn't come make it here, who was senior to me. When Professor Balyan approached me to participate in this conference, invited me as a resource person, I told him that unless I can write a paper and present it, I will not say yes. And I had to sit down for 10, 15 days. All these days leading to vertigo and others, but that is part of the game. And teachers have to slog. Academics have to slog unless we become something like Galgoti academics. I think Galgoti academics has to be avoided. We have to slog and we have to work till the last day. Therefore, I promised him, and I am very happy that my son, who is on holidays from Ladakh, he teaches in Army Goodwill School and he likes it. And for 4 years, 5 years, he stuck. He came and he said, I will type it out and you correct it. And that worked very well. And the 10-page paper is with Professor Balyan. You asked for it. The paper has, the theme is Criminology in Transition. And there are 9 points of transition of criminology. Professor Balyan spoke very important thing, architecture of criminalization. It has two parts, and I will come to it in the third part of my discussion. Architecture of criminalization has two elements, according to me. One is the element of idea, the other is the element of technique. The second part, digitalization, is an element of technique. The element of idea is certainly over-criminalization, contested criminalization, and going back to pre-crime stages. That is what Lucia Zegner has spoken about. I'll come to that. Now, I was saying that 9 points in the transition of criminology. First is the pre-criminology, Hindu and Islamic. First point is pre-colonial Hindu and Islamic criminology rationalized crime and punishment on the basis of the otherworldly theorizations. Pak Punya, Khuda, and other things. The theorizations were otherworldly. Crime was seen as a phenomenon, a sin, a shaitan prevailing over the mind. Second theorization or second transition point was the colonial criminology relied mostly on the borrowed but this worldly Western theorizations. This worldly Western theorization, starting with Montesquieu and all the schools of criminology. Third is after 1950s, United Nations interest in crime and its scientific understanding led to strong advocacy of imparting criminology as an independent discipline to be taught in colleges and universities. Fourth, the taught disciplines of criminology developed a closer integration with criminal justice. Five, criminal justice integration led in turn developing linkages with forensic science and digitalization in crime. Sixth, the emergence of victim perspective within criminology led to broadening the horizons, leading ultimately to the evolution of victimology as a side stream. Seventh, the post-constitutional era development of criminology required compliance with the Constitution and human rights mandate. Eighth, the shifting of focus of criminology to national security concerns required addressing to the priorities that traditionally were not part of the punishment state agenda. And ninth, the artificial intelligence challenge and its impact on criminology. The trail of transition in the domain of criminology is long and discursive. Therefore, I propose to subject the rhetoric transition first for test in respect to the following 4 issues that are relevant to the core theme. 5 thematic tracks and 15 sub-themes laid out by the conference organizers, namely assessing the utility and feasibility of criminal law in India. 2. The Constitution and human rights as guardrails, particularly in matter of gender justice and victim protection. 3. Disability of decisive movement towards pre-crime stages solely determined on the basis of security concerns. AI challenges is the 4th area or touchstone and their impact on future of criminology. Now I will, with this huge paper, or 8-page paper, I will focus only on the second and third and fourth. Second relates to the constitutional and human rights guardrails. The constitution and human rights guardrails are important, and I focus on three important cases, because over criminalization, unprincipled criminalization, and alternate forms of criminalization, I will skip. I will come to second, constitutional and human rights guardrails. I would like you to see recognizing single mother identity for the official records. The wonderful Maharashtra High Court decision, two-judge bench decision, in which a mother was trying to explain to the education department in Maharashtra that I am a single mother and I should have a right to my identity. And the two-judge decision, they relied on Article 21, Article 14 and Article 19 and said that single mother identity and non-patriarchal move for women is an essence of constitution. Therefore, this is a very important decision. The decision is there. The case of XYZ and ABC versus State of Maharashtra decided on February 2, 2026. Please read this case. Second is constitutional guidelines, decision of the Supreme Court expanding the horizons of reproductive rights of pregnant mothers. Here, a minor girl had become pregnant. Supreme Court did not bother, and she was 30-week pregnant, and she wanted to terminate her pregnancy. The law permits 24-week pregnancy, and if it is more than 24 weeks, there should be a committee's review, and then only 30 weeks was not possible. The matter reached the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court in this case said, Justice Nagaratnam, we are very happy that some of our students are doing wonderful work in the Supreme Court also. Justice Nagaratnam was our student, and she decided, irrespective of 24 weeks law, she is 30-week pregnant. But the question is, which is more important, that she wants termination of pregnancy. She doesn't want the child to be born because it is recognizing reproductive rights of the mother over the law. Law is made by us. If mother doesn't want it, yes, we are aware that it is a conflict between right to life of the unborn child and choice, reproductive choice of the mother. And we will decide in favor of reproductive right of the mother. Right to life versus choice. So this is a very important decision that has been handed down by the Supreme Court in a Mother of X, State of Maharashtra, 2026 Live Law, Supreme Court at page 160. Now the third very important decision I want you to think about and ponder. I will skip the fourth decision, but I will focus on the third decision. In the third decision, the Supreme Court was in search of elusive victim justice in a case from Calcutta. That went to the Supreme Court. The case is by Justice Oak, in the right to privacy of adolescent, 2025 Live Law at page 778. In this case, the mother, 14-year-old, she eloped with her lover, 20-year-old boy, and she became pregnant. And the mother of the victim disowned her because during pregnancy and during childbirth, she was served by the family of her husband, sisters and brothers of the husband. And there was a kind of settlement. Obviously, in this case, the girl was 14, she had been raped, she had been kidnapped. Under POCSO, the husband was given 20 years in prison. And by the POCSO court, husband was. But the family of the husband entered into a settlement with the connivance of the husband that my daughter, born out of this victim, she should be taken care of. You should give all the facility to her. In the meantime, the real mother, the natural mother of the victim, had disowned her. That I have nothing to do. Though she was the complainant in the case. Seeing this settlement, the Calcutta High Court acquitted the accused, and in view of the settlement, the matter went to the Supreme Court. Before the Supreme Court decided that High Court judgment is wrong, trial court judgment should be restored, there was a suo motu petition in the Supreme Court. That petition had come before Justice Oak and Justice Bhuiyan. And Justice Oak had appointed two amicus curiae in this case. These two amicus ladies, the idea was to see what is the plight of the victim, that girl. Why is she fighting? Why has she fallen with her mother, who has disowned her? Now it was found out that she has become, she's infatuated to the husband, and she's being served by the husband's family, looked after very well. So ultimately, the family was suffering. And the amicus gave a report. Actually, it is the system that is now victimizing her. The policemen, the welfare people, they come to her and pester her. She says, leave me alone. My family is enough to take care of me. Now, ultimately, Justice Oak wrote the judgment, wonderful judgment. The judgment is in two parts. One, that though he is convicted, the husband is convicted, but we suspend the sentence by application of Article 142 of the Constitution. Doing complete justice requires application, invocation of Article 142, and gave 5 directions to all the departments to take care of the mother and the daughter. Her education, her upkeep, her housing, her security is the responsibility of the state. A wonderful decision. This is real justice that we are or should be looking for. This I will talk a little more tomorrow. Indian brand of restorative justice. This case stands up. Now, Chirag had spoken about Lucia Zedner's pushing the boundaries to pre-crime stages. I will not dilate upon that more. I'll come back straight to the fourth touchstone, and that is AI challenge. AI will pose 3 kinds of challenges for the criminologist. The first challenge is the level of defining and identification crimes and criminals which may suffer on account of outsourced or outdated information and biases, foreign country biases applied to Indian criminal and Indian criminal justice. Second, the level of legitimization of the system, particularly the process through which the regulation and control function is performed. And third challenge is the challenge of fake identification. AI fake citation. Recently on 2nd March, a 3-judge bench of the Supreme Court, 2nd March 2026, a 3-judge bench faced a horrendous case in which the civil court had given a judgment based on 4 faked cases. And the case did not exist anymore. Now they are AI generated cases. Now if AI generated cases can change the finding of the court, the High Court decided on that case. Andhra High Court, the Supreme Court stayed it and said we'll go and find out this is a misconduct. Therefore, these are the challenges that make us sit down and take seriously everything that is happening in the outside world need not be accepted without question. We must wait, we must analyze it, and this is the time for us to do some hard work. Thank you very much. I stop here. I leave the floor to other experts.
Good morning to all of you, and my heartfelt regards to our teacher, teacher of all the criminal law, criminology students, researcher, Professor Pandey. The way he has dissection on the journey of criminology in the night, I think it is only we can heard from Professor Pandey. If I just to take advance of last cases, as referred AI, the problem of AI also. In fact, it is a real challenge to our teachers, researchers, and also, of course, our justice delivery system. Sir also referred the gender justice issue, human rights. I was reading a case of US court where AI-based one recruitment process challenged before the court that AI bias you have heard that AI is not free from bias. It was challenged that it affects the equality right of the women. The fact in short was that the multinational company, when recruited their executives, they employed one outsourced AI-based machine learning process, and they have selected all their 10 executives who are male, and that was challenged. It was found that those machine learning and whole process of AI generated, that is developed, was run by all the male engineers or computer scientists, and whatever they have records input, but at that time last 20 years, that is the trends. So that revealed the result that the best candidates are all the criteria that was set in the machine comes from the what they thought as male. That coming out to injustice and gender justice was the issue. Another AI based, I think, in the criminal law, if you can remember the Malaysian air crash also. The normal our learning that air crash brings the normal civil liability. But as it was AI based and also the crash was due to failure of the AI generated that machines. The court tells that it is not to be only civil liability or damages as it is in the law. They go beyond the law and make criminal liability and punish the death sentence also those who have suppressed one social audit that there was a defect in the manufacturing of the. So the transition is, I think, we are to look into and rethink how, what should be the legal basis, principles, morality, ethics. So this is one aspect. My brothers will also share something. So I will go to one minute.
Good morning to all of you. Thank you, Professor Pandey, for enlightening us. And I would like to especially thank this university, particularly the Faculty of Law, its organizers, and Chirag for organizing this conference on a very important topic. And I think you might have noticed some words there in the air: crime, criminal law, criminalization, architecture of criminalization. Architect, it's a word of the construction science, civil law, oops, sorry, civil science. But now, this word is being used in the criminal law and the criminal law. Students are sitting here, I am throwing a question towards you. In legal terms, how you will define the architecture? If you are going to see the architecture of any crime, how you will start? Now here you will have to think. Because what Professor Pandey was talking, and on which point this conference is focused, if you want to understand both the things, then you have to be very clear about these terms. You know that our definitions from Blackstone to Kenny failed to define crime. Even today, we are not having any definition which can properly define crime. And that's why in 1958, the Blueprint Committee came out with proposition, forget about defining the crime. What is the use of wasting time in defining the crime? The best thing is that we should understand the functions of the criminal law. It will be good for the sake of curbing the criminal activity in the society. And I think that you all know the positive functions. Criminal law is meant for to preserve the order and decency. And when we talk about the order and decency, I think from here all things start. Criminal law will protect the weak persons, it will protect the persons who are in need of the care and protection, especially those who are in official dependence or who are not able to do this. It means there will not be the atmosphere of the might is right. Trump जैसा नहीं होगा. Now he is holding the rod in his hand and he is asking the country to do this thing, a country which constituted the United Nations. How that country is behaving today. So that's another part. So I was talking that, but the most important part is of the Fulfillment Committee is that they said negative functions. Criminal law should not intervene into the private lives of the people. This digital surveillance, security state, what we are going to talk today, I think they were relevant at the time and now they have become more relevant. And here, your criminal auditor might have told you there are 4 stages of crime. What are those stages? Intention, preparation, attempt, and accomplishment. Can you relate it to the architecture? When we talk about the architecture, and now what is happening, logically, Capitalism society, you know who gave the theory? Patil. And this theory is becoming, I will present my papers at the time to publish them. And when the cases, I am for that the state should intervene into the lives of people for protecting them. Recently, you might have read in the paper, police arrested engineer, his wife and his friend for dealing in the child sex pornography through cryptocurrency and otherwise. But this arrest was made on the basis of the tip given by the Interpol. And the tip was that he is doing this particular activity for last so many years. The Interpol just found it on the dark web, from where they collected the intelligence, and that intelligence they passed to the Indian police. For the last 6-7 years, that person was exploiting the juvenile, she was dealing in the child sex. But our police, our system was not able to get that. Was it because of the. Thank you very much. I've been told that now our chief guest is arrived, so we will have better session. So thank you very much and clap for B.V. Pandey.
Excuse me, please pay your kind attention. We will be starting the formal inauguration session in short in a while. Please, I request all of you to put your phone on silent mode. And it is a humble request, kindly do not leave the auditorium. Please be seated. Do not leave the auditorium as we will be receiving our guest in a short time. Please put your phone on vibrate mode or silent mode. Thank you.
I request everyone to please settle down.
अरे अपना ही चैनल है अरे अपना ही चैनल है क्या करना है विजुअल देने का
फारूक भाई नीचे
I request everyone finally lights our guests have arrived. Good morning to our respected dignitaries on the dais, distinguished guests, eminent academicians, scholars, and dear students. It is my immense pleasure to welcome you all to the inauguration ceremony of the 7th International and 46th Indian Criminology Conference organized by the Levi Patil University School of Law and the Indian Society of Criminology. It is my absolute honor to serve as the Master of Ceremony for today's prestigious event. This conference brings together experts, scholars, practitioners, and students from across India and around the world to deliberate upon the thought provoking theme that is, the security state and digital governance, rethinking the architecture of criminalization. In an era where technology, governance, and security intersect more closely than ever before, discussions like these become essential in shaping a balanced and just criminal system. On behalf of the School of Law, I warmly welcome each one of you and thank you for being part of this important academic exchange. Before we begin, we now start with the auspicious lighting of the lamp, a tradition that symbolizes the triumph of knowledge over ignorance and wisdom over darkness. I humbly request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly come forward and grace the stage for the lighting of the lamp ceremony. Thank you to our respected dignitaries for initiating this conference with such a meaningful gesture. I request you all to kindly take your seats on the dais. It is now our privilege to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished dignitaries through a felicitation ceremony. I request our Honorable Chancellor and President, Dr. Vijay D. Patil, sir, to kindly present a token of gratitude to our Honorable Minister of Law and Justice as a mark of our sincere appreciation.
फोटोग्राफर
I request our Honorable Chancellor and President Dr. Vijay D. Patil, sir, to kindly felicitate Professor Dr. N.K. Chakrabarti, sir, President of the Indian Society of Criminology. I now request President of the Indian Society of Criminology, Professor Dr. N.K. Chakrabarti Sir, to kindly felicitate Dr. Vijay D. Patil Sir, our Honorable Chancellor and President of the D.Y. Patil University. I now request our Director of School of Law of the D.Y. Patil University, Professor Dr. Karuna Akshay Malviya Ma'am, to kindly felicitate Professor Dr. Madhava Somasundaram Sir, Chairperson of the Indian Society of Criminology. Before we proceed further, it is important to acknowledge the visionary leadership that continues to inspire and guide our institution. Let me take the privilege of introducing the founder of the D.Y. Patil Group, Dr. D.Y. Patil Sir, under whose pioneering leadership the D.Y. Patil University was. Sir is the former governor of Bihar, Tripura, and West Bengal, and the recipient of the prestigious Padma Shri Award. Sir envisioned spreading education across the length and breadth of India and started the journey with the first engineering college called Ramrao Adik Institute of Technology in Navi, Mumbai in the year 1983. It is my honor to introduce our Honorable Chancellor and President Dr. Vijay D. Patil Sir, a visionary leader whose multidisciplinary approach has transformed the university into a globally recognized institution of higher learning. The university is spread across 72 acres of land and is a home to 22 schools in state-of-the-art projects. He feels that the progress of the future generations is defined by the world we choose to create for them, and hence, the best way to empower the youth would be to develop an ecosystem that offers opportunities for them to learn, grow, and excel. I would also like to acknowledge Dr. Shivani Vijay Patil Ma'am, our respected Pro-Chancellor and Vice President, whose dedication and innovative initiatives have greatly strengthened the university's academic and institutional framework. Her leadership continues to inspire the entire D.Y. Patil community. She leads key parts of the group's strategic trajectory, making the vision focused on delivering a top-notch educational experience. Moving forward, D.Y. Patil deemed to be University School of Law is committed to nurturing industry-ready legal professionals equipped to meet the evolving demands of the legal world. The school offers a dynamic learning environment that blends academic rigor with practical exposure. Through student-managed committees and new initiatives, students gain a broader understanding of law beyond the classroom. Over the past year, the institution has successfully hosted several prestigious academic initiatives. Among them was the International Mediation and Dispute Resolution Conference, which was honored by the presence of former Chief Justice Honorable Justice Bhushan Gavai Sir, who graced the event as the chief guest. The School of Law also organized a Knowledge Day on AI regulation on 22nd January. The initiative witnessed enthusiastic participation from students, with over 250 opinion papers being submitted on diverse aspects of AI regulation, ethics, and governance. The Indian Society of Criminology, which is also organized, which is also part of our conference, was founded in 1970, is one of India's oldest professional bodies dedicated to the scientific study of crime, justice, and related behavioral sciences. Established by eminent thinkers such as Honorable Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer Sir and other leading scholars, the society was created to promote criminology as a vital discipline for crime prevention and societal welfare. Over the years, the Indian Society of Criminology has grown into a multidisciplinary network of criminologists, sociologists, psychologists, police and correctional professionals, judges, lawyers, forensic scientists, social workers, and other experts. Through annual conferences, symposiums, training programs, and public lectures, the Society encourages research, collaboration, and the practical application of criminological knowledge to strengthen the criminal justice system and address contemporary issues of crime and rehabilitation. The 7th International and 46th Indian Criminology Conference focuses on the timely theme, that is, the security state and digital governance, rethinking the architecture of criminalization. It encourages scholars and practitioners to critically examine the evolving nature of crime, the expanding powers of the state, and the role of digital governance in shaping contemporary criminal justice systems. Through keynote lectures, academic sessions, and panel discussions, this conference aims to generate meaningful insights and encourage interdisciplinary engagement among researchers, policymakers, and students. It is now my distinct honor to introduce Professor Dr. Karuna Akshay Malviya Madam, Director of the School of Law. Ma'am is a distinguished academic and legal professional with a PhD in law and research fellowship from the University Grants Commission. Under her leadership, Diva Patil deemed to be University School of Law has hosted national and international conferences, training workshops, and community initiatives promoting legal awareness and social justice. I now request Professor Dr. Karuna Akshay Malviya Ma'am to kindly deliver the welcome address and set the tone for this distinguished gathering.
Thank you, everyone. Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Arjun Ram Meghwalji, dignitaries on the dais, distinguished delegates, esteemed faculties of different universities, forensic experts, law enforcement professionals, and dear students of criminology and law. A very warm welcome to the 7th International and 46th Indian Criminology Conference on the theme, the security state and digital governance, rethinking the architecture of criminalization, organized jointly by D.Y. Patil University School of Law and the Indian Society of Criminology. We are truly honored to host such a diverse gathering of legal minds, scholars, judges, lawyers, and policy experts from across the nation and beyond. I extend my gratitude to welcome our chief guest, Honorable Minister of Law and Justice, Government of India, Sri Arjun Ram Meghwalji, for gracing this conference. Honorable Sir, we are fortunate to have your esteemed guidance and insights as we open this important academic and policy dialogue. I extend my warm welcome to our Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Vijay D. Patil Sir, in this august gathering. Respected Sir, School of Law is blessed with your visionary guidance and support, which encourages us to excel in the area of imparting versatile, unique, and quality education. I extend my warm welcome to Professor Dr. N.K. Chakrabarty Sir, President, Indian Society of Criminology and former Vice Chancellor of West Bengal National University of Political Sciences. Sir, we are really honored for this collaboration and look forward for working together ahead. I extend warm welcome to Professor Dr. B. Madhava Somasundaram, Chairperson of Indian Society of Criminology. As rightly quoted by Edwin Sutherland, that crime is not merely a violation of law, it is a reflection of social conditions in which it occurs. Today, social conditions are being profoundly reshaped by digital technology. The rapid expansion of digital infrastructure has transformed the ways in which society communicates, government governs, and unfortunately, still how crimes are emerging. It is hence the theme of this conference focuses on rethinking the architecture of criminology. As the great ancient thinker Kautilya observed in Arthashastra, in the happiness of his subjects lies the happiness of the king. Even centuries later, this wisdom continues to resonate deeply. In the modern context of digital governance and technologically driven state structure, it reminds us that systems of security and regulation must ultimately serve the welfare, dignity, and liberty of citizens. Similarly, Bharat Ratna Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the principal architect of the Constitution, reminded us that constitutional morality is not a natural sentiment, it has to be cultivated. In the age where states increasingly rely on digital technologies for surveillance, governance, and policing, this principle assumes even greater significance. The challenge before us is to ensure that while pursuing scrutiny and efficiency, the foundational values of constitutionalism, liberty, and justice remains protected. We are living in a time when digital technologies are rapidly reshaping social realities. The expansion of digital infrastructure has transformed the ways societies communicate, the way government administers, and unfortunately, the way in which the crimes are conceived and committed. New forms of cybercrime, digital surveillance mechanism, algorithmic governance, and data-driven policing are fundamentally altering the landscape of criminology and criminal justice. It is therefore both timely and necessary that this conference focuses on the theme the security state and the digital governance, rethinking the architecture of criminalization. The conference seeks to create a meaningful intellectual platform where scholars, policymakers, practitioners, and researchers can engage in thoughtful deliberations on the evolving relationship between security, governance, and criminology in the digital age. It aims to examine how contemporary legal and criminological framework must adapt to addressing emerging forms of crime while ensuring that democratic values, human rights, and individual liberties remain safeguarded. D.Y. Patil University School of Law, under visionary guidance of our Honorable Chancellor Sir, is proactively involved in versatile field of serving best to the society. Through initiatives, it remains our constant endeavors not only to impart high quality legal education, but also to contribute actively to academic scholarship, professional discourse, and the broader development of society and the nation. In this context, the present conference assumes particular importance. It brings together diverse voices, encourages intellectual exchange, and helps shape the future direction of research and policy in the field of criminology. I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude again to Indian Society of Criminology for their invaluable collaboration and for their enduring commitment to advancing criminological scholarship both in India and internationally. With a great pleasure and deep sense of pride, I now again formally welcome you all to the 7th International and 46th Indian Criminology Conference. I sincerely hope that the deliberations over the coming 3 days will be stimulating, insightful, and intellectually enriching for all the participants. Thank you, and I wish the conference every success. Thank you so much, ma'am. Moving forward, Professor Dr. P. Madhava Somasundaram Sir is a distinguished academic in the field of criminology and victimology. He holds a master's degree in criminology from the University of Madras and completed his PhD focusing on the fear of crime in victimology. Professor Dr. P. Madhava Somasundaram Sir is a distinguished academic in the field of criminology and victimology. I request Sir to kindly deliver the introduction to the conference.
Honorable Minister for Law and Justice, Shri Megwal Ji, the President of the Indian Society of Criminology, Professor N.K. Chakravarti, the Director, School of Law of this great institution, Dr. Karna Akshay Malviya, more importantly, the Honorable Chancellor of the D.Y. Patil University, Dr. Vijay Patil, Dr. Chirag Balayan, who is the co-chairperson of this conference, who is the reason for us to be in this time and space, and galaxy of law and criminology teachers from around the country, judicial officers who are participants of this program, forensic scientists, police officers, and young participants of this conference. I should thank Dr. D.Y. Patil, the Chancellor, and his team for getting this conference organized here at this time. Friends, somewhere in the 1960s, the story starts a little earlier, somewhere in the end of 1960s, a set of people, academicians, criminal justice professionals, thought that they need to have a common platform where they will be able to discuss on matters related to crime, crime prevention, crime investigation, and it will be a professional communication channel for teachers and students who are interested in the area of crime and criminal justice. That is why in the 1970s, the Indian Society of Criminology was started by one of the chief ministers of Tamil Nadu at that point of time. Friends, the idea of the Indian Society of Criminology in the last 54 years of existence is to create communication channels between professionals who work in different disciplines. Criminology, by its constitution, or the word that we are using from today morning is the structure, or the architecture of criminology, is basically borrowing items and concepts from different subjects like law, sociology, social work, psychology, forensic science, and so on and so forth. So we have about 2,500 members around the country. They come from different walks and different backgrounds. They come from different levels. There are very senior professors who we have heard a few of them today morning. And we also have the youngest assistant professor joining an institute as members, roughly about 2,500 members across. And basically, we have been conducting conferences in collaboration with higher learning institutions throughout the country. We have almost organized 45 conferences earlier. If you look at the list, probably you will find that we have started working with National Law Institute, Bhopal, Bangalore University, Madras University, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai, Rajiv Gandhi National University of Law, Patiala, and the list goes on. We have been working with law institutions, with the sociology, social work, training, higher education institutions throughout the country, and we have been conducting these programs on various topics which are very, very relevant at that point of time when the conference was organized. We have covered on criminal justice system, we have discussed about crime, cybercrime, terrorism, victimology, juvenile justice, almost every corner, every area of the criminology. We also have an organ called the Indian Journal of Criminology, which is being brought right from 1970 onwards, which is one of the oldest journals of criminology in the country. And right now we have got this accredited by the UGC Care List Group 1. And I may add here that the first volume 1, issue 1, Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer has written an article, The Criminal Process and the Legal Aid, which continues to be the center of attraction in criminal justice even today. And more importantly, before the digital era, now we are in the digital era, before the digital era, right from 1970s to the end of 1989, 90s, we have been on book exchange, library exchange program with the United Nations, with the US Department of Justice, with the National Institute of Corrections in USA. We have been getting, that is precisely what our job is, providing the facility so that our members get exposed to the concepts which are evolving in the West and elsewhere around the world. So friends, we have been working for the last 55 years, a very productive, long life, where we have been focusing on the various issues connected with crime control and the processes involved in the criminal justice. And we are working continuously, and we are very happy to associate with the D.Y. Patil Institute here also today. And I am sure that for the next 2 days, you will be having a fiesta of where you will be looking at the various issues connected with the criminal justice. We will be focusing, and we have got roughly about 180 papers, if I remember correctly, 180 papers which means you must be having, today you have got four parallel sessions, tomorrow you have 8, probably they will develop into 10, so that we will be able to cover all the speakers, all the presenters will be able to give their idea on the central seminal topic which we are going to do for this conference. Thank you very much for your patience and good participation.
Thank you, sir. Moving forward, I request Dr. Alan Kumar, sir, Secretary of the Indian Society of Criminology, to present the report on behalf of the society.
A very good morning to one and all on the dais. The annual report of the Indian Society of Criminology for the period of February 2025 to February 2026 is hereby present on behalf of the Executive Council of ISC. This year has been marked by strengthening the internal systems, moving toward digital platforms, expanding activities internationally, and enhancing sustained academic engagement under the banner of ISC. ISC activities and programs. First one is the Crime, Justice and Society Dialogues. Initially, the ISC instituted a structured bi-weekly online academic lecture series titled Crime, Justice and Society Dialogues. The initiative is aimed to provide sustained academic engagement beyond the annual conference and to create an accessible platform for students, research scholars and early and career academics. Volume 1 was delivered by Dr. Vipin Vijay Nair from Jindal Institute of Behavioral Sciences. Volume 2 was delivered by Dr. Mitzi Forrest from Camp Sully University, USA. The e-cities were issued electronic to all the attendees. The recording of the session have been uploaded on IEC official YouTube channel. The forthcoming volumes feature distinguished scholars and national and international institutions or Volume 3 by Dr. M. Michael Valavan, Volume 4 by Dr. D. Rufus, Volume 5 Dr. Yulia Zebrina from University of Alabama, Volume 6 Dr. A. Shankar Prakash, and Volume 7 by Dr. Hiro Susito from University of Indonesia. This series has expanded national outreach, strengthened international collaboration, increased participant, and led to the multi-fold rise in Malay membership inquiries reflecting increased academic visibility and engagement of the society. The commemoration of the World Day of Social Justice, the ISC in collaboration with the Department of Criminology, University of Madras, commemorated the World Day of Social Justice on 20th February 2026 with Dr. Patil Tirumavalavan, Honorable Member of Parliament, Lok Sabha as chief guest. The presidential address was delivered by Dr. P. Madhava Somasundram, Chairperson ISC. As a part of the conversation, the book Social Justice Across Continent includes inequalities and interventions, authored by Dr. S. Armstrong and by myself. The Secretary ISC was formally released. The program was live streamed through YouTube and has also been archived in the ISC official YouTube channel. World Conference on Criminology 2025, the title Exploring the Dynamics of Crime, Contemporary Challenges and Innovation in Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice, was held from 19 to 22nd June 2025 at OP Jindal Global University. The conference was hosted by the Jindal Institute of Behavioral Sciences in association with the International Society of Criminology, Paris, and the Indian Society of Criminology served as a knowledge partner for the conference. Legal awareness campaign in Palakkad, Kerala state. The Ambernath International School of Law, District Legal Service Authority, DLSA, Palakkad and Vyasa Vidyapeetham, Kerala, collaborated with the ISC to conduct a legal awareness campaign on narcotics and its harmful effects on 13th June 2025. The program aimed to sensitize students and the wider community about the legal, psychological, and social consequences of the substance abuses. The International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, the Amrita International School on 26th June of 2025, we collaborated with the ISC to organize a panel discussion on the theme of bridging the gaps law, mental health, and society against narcotics. The program brought together members of the judiciary, prosecution, legal practitioners, and mental health professionals. The first international and third annual conference titled Criminology in Transition, Global Developments, Emerging Threats and Theoretical Expansion was held on 26th February 6 at DG College in collaboration with the ISC. The conference provided a platform for scholars, practitioners, and students to deliberate upon contemporary transformation in criminology and criminal justice. Launch of new official website. A redesigned and structured official website of ISC has been launched, Further documentation updation is underway. The establishment of official social media handles. The ISC has formally established the operationalized official social media presence across LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. These platforms now serve as official communication channels for announcement, lectures, conference, and publication. Establishment of online membership system, a major milestone during this period, has been the digitization of the life membership database with a total of 2,148 life members recorded, of whom email IDs are available for only the 479 members. The Secretary has computerized and consolidated membership records, launched on online life membership application form and a life member details submission form, uploaded the consolidated database on the official website, and initiate conversion of the savings account into the current account to enable a secure online payment gateway integration. Digital life membership certificates are now being issued electronic upon the EC approval. The establishment of ISC local branch in Ranchi, the Executive Council considered and approved the proposal of establishing a local branch of ISC at Jharkhand Raksha Shakti University, Ranchi. The meeting of the Executive Council of the Indian Society of Criminology met 7 times over the year. The meetings deliberated on major academic and institutional matters, including the organization of the 7th International and 46th All India Criminology Conference, revision and approval of norms and various ISC awards. The launch on the crime, justice and social dialogue lecture series, establishment of the ISC Ranchi local chapter, strengthening of the ISC website, and social media presence, digitization of membership record, transition toward an online membership portal, and approval of the new life membership application. The publication, the Indian Journal of Criminology, the official peer-reviewed journal of the ISC, continued its publication during the reporting behavior during the last year. Volume 53, Issue 1 and Issue 2 of the journal were successfully published. The Society places on record its sincere appreciation and gratitude to Dr. G.S. Bajpai, Vice Chancellor, National Law University, Delhi, for his continued efforts and valuable support in the regular publication of the journal. Efforts are also underway to further strengthen the journal's visibility, indexing profile, and academic outreach. During the last year, 107 live membership applications were received from the academicians, professionals, and students were placed before the Executive Council and approved. Inquiries of live membership have significantly increased following the lecture series and digital outreach initiatives. The K. Sri Jayendra H. Patil Law College, Mumbai, has been provided institutional membership of the ISC. The college inaugurated its Center for Criminal Justice Lex Criminis on 30th January 2026. The former president of the ISC, Dr. Arvind Tiwari, was invited to inaugurate this center. Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you, sir. Moving forward, Professor Dr. N.K. Chakrabarty sir is a distinguished scholar in the field of criminology and criminal law. He completed his LLB, MA and LLM from the University of Calcutta and earned his PhD from the University of Burdwan on the probation system in criminal justice administration. He has served as a professor at the University of Calcutta, director of the School of Law at KIIT University, and later as Vice Chancellor of the West Bengal National University of Juridical Sciences. I request Sir to kindly address the gathering and share his valuable insights.
Honorable Sri Arjun Ram Meghwarji, Minister in charge of Law and Justice and our chief guest today's inauguration program. Honorable Chancellor Dr. Vijay Patil, Dr. Koruna Malopia, the Director of the Law School, my colleague Professor Sumasundaram, the distinguished professors of criminology and law, researchers, participants, and my dear students. Today's theme to inaugurate the security state and digital governance, rethinking the architecture of criminalization. I think at the inauguration we should have a foundation and philosophy. We have to relook what the security state concept from our cave society to current society. There was a transition and development. if we say that our security concept in the Cape society started with might is right and then transformed through feudal society that king can do no wrong, march of God on earth through the priest. And thereafter we have the concept of state in the 17th century where legislations in the form of law started that transformed to might is right to regulated right. But if you look into the philosophers of state power and think of Plato's Prince, where he postulated that everyone, the state, citizens, and the governments, everyone should play their duties, not the power of right. From there, if we look into the transform in the 19th century, we should, as law and even our social scientists, everyone look into Benthamite, pleasure and pain, and also the 7 strategies of controlling the people through this concept of pleasure and pain. But again, if we look into the 19th century, that power and criminalization based on Machiavelli, I can refer you the Marx writings. He wrote that there are some laws which man violates, and but there are some laws which make the people to violate the law. Referring the Prussia's incidents of 1500 death sentence for cutting of the branches of trees during industrial revolutions, law made that even cutting of branch makes the people to punish death sentence. That criminalization concept, if we look also include the war crimes, where the last Second World War after Hiroshima, the Tokyo trial, the philosophy of criminal law and criminalization in the international scenario also. In 1200, more than 1200 pages published from our Vedic philosophy that there should be impartiality in justice. And that impartiality can't be by victor justice as philosophy led by Dr. Radha Vinod Pal. And that also another development if we look into international level, the crime across the borders, the UN Convention on Transnational Organized Crime 2000, where mutual assistance, legal assistance was the concept to prevent the crime. And criminalization also, there was still now from 2012, the debate going on fighting cybercrime. We are unable to have a consensus on universal jurisdiction. Only for terrorism, air hijacking, and extradition, only treaty based there are some development. But still now we are unable to have a final principle of criminalization and the prevention of crime on transnational crime. Even if we look into the Rome Statute 2000, the crime against humanity, that genocide, crime against humanity, war crimes, and crime of aggression, and what happening last week, the 167 girl students being victim of war, and even the leader of the country being killed through our developed technology. So that concept of crime, criminalization, victimization, which our new traits of criminology and architecture of criminology postulate, we have to think how and where we are going, who are the offenders and who are the victims. In the present context, we are living in a transformation of our traditional architecture of crime and criminology. We are moving from due process, actor rear, means rear, into rapid overlap and replaced by architecture of code, algorithms, data, and the presently AI. The present security state faces, I think, five issues. First one is expanded security apparatus of the state. Second, the intensified surveillance and conflict with privacy. Third, internal control through AI and others. Fourth, who are the offenders and who are the victims in the present society. And the last, that under the new crime and victimization, what law should be and what should be the limit of that law. And in criminal justice process also our system, three things we are now facing the challenge: the predictive policing with AI and technology, digital identities, and tech-mediated the justice system. The Supreme Court also identified some of the areas where we have to look into and relook our even the present new criminal laws and its cyber crime provisions also. I can refer to three cases. One is the former Intelligence Bureau Chief T. Prabhakar Rao that destroyed digital evidence, where the court held Justin that there is a device reset on April 5, June 10, and July 15 in 2025. So, crucial digital material, if it is being changed. So, what constitutional fair justice and procedure established by law is being challenged by our new criminal law. And also, in case of destruction of materials in the electronic or computer data, what may be the legal control? We can come to the latest July case in Madras High Court in Christopher Signy versus State of Tamil Nadu. The denial of access of forensic comparison, the fair trial invited us to rethink our Indian evidence law also, that it is not that forensic certificate given by expert is the final one. The ethical issue is also coming to us in a bigger way. Therefore, the call for ethical imagination is also our challenge. We, in the today's technology, institutional norms, collective choice, we have to select how we can integrate it into our law. And we are also now to recognize our founder, the member Justice Krishna Iyer, who remarked the dynamics of social justice and the rule of law cannot be imprisoned within the letter of the law, but must be sought in its spirit and social context. We can also recall Edmund Lockhart, the forensic scientist. Every contact leaves a trace. In our present day, 2026, our challenge is to locate those traces across both the physical and digital realms and to interpret them with scientific rigor and ethical certainty. The inclusion of dedicated tracks of forensic evidence and investigative practices in the digital age is the testament to the centrality of the new regime of criminalization and criminal justice. We can also recall philosopher Marshall, who said, "We save our tools and thereafter our tools save us." So, in this context, the changes of technology which we are facing, we have to, as in the conference, we are trying to have reframe our concept of criminalization through change of our legal structure, social structure, infrastructure, and so with empirical evidence, and we can think and rethink state security in the context of new offenders and new victims. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. It is my honor to introduce our Honorable Chancellor and President, Dr. Vijay D. Patil, sir, a visionary leader whose multidisciplinary approach has transformed the university into a globally recognized institution of higher learning. The university is spread across 72 acres of land and is a home to 22 schools in the state-of-the-art project. He feels that the progress of the future generation is defined by the world we choose to create for them, and hence, the best way to empower the youth would be to develop an ecosystem that offers opportunities for them to learn, grow, and excel. I request our sir to kindly address the gathering.
The Honorable Minister of Law and Justice, Government of India, Sri Arjun Ram Meghwaji, the Chairperson of the Indian Society of Criminology, Professor Dr. Madhava Somasundaramji, the Vice Chancellor of West Bengal University, Kolkata, Professor Dr. M.K. Chakrabartiji, the Director of D.Y. Patil School of Law, Dr. Karuna, delegates who gathered over here, students and friends. At the outset, let me express our deep sense of honor to welcome the Honorable Law Minister to our campus. Just about 2 days ago, I was shared his itinerary about his travel plans. The fact that he's traveled all the way from Delhi to be amongst us over here on this gathering is something that we feel deeply honored. Sri Meghwaji controls a ministry which pretty much has an impact on the lives of all the citizens of this country. Whether it's a farmer reaching out in a district court, or whether it's an organization such as ours, navigating the regulatory framework, whether it's different multinational corporations, or whether it's just individuals, all of us living in our families who want to walk safely back to our houses. So I think the work that this ministry does is something that impacts all our lives there. So to find somebody who is at the helm of this ministry, which basically manages or which has an impact on the lives of 1.4 billion Indians, to find him flying all the way back from Delhi, being with us here for 1 hour, for an hour and a half of a program, and to be part of this gathering of about 300 scholars, students, just shows the kind of importance that Government of India, has in the role that education can play in terms of tackling all the challenges in the field of criminology. So on behalf of the university, I want to express my deepest sense of appreciation and gratitude for the fact that the Honorable Law Minister is present with us over here. I see so many delegates, I see so many students. I'm not an expert in criminology, so I can just share some thoughts about it. I think you have 3 days of an extensive seminar and conferences that will be held on various topics of criminology. But the thing that is immediately evident for all of us is the way the world is evolving, the changes that are happening in this world. And, as a university, I'm really happy that we have taken this initiative to have this partnership with the Indian Society of Criminology to establish this conference. As there was a time when in the past, if you talked about criminal activities, your houses would get burgled, your houses would get broken down. But now in today's day and age, it only requires somebody to hack your smartphone, or it takes somebody to just hack into your email account, and you could be robbed of all your wealth. So that's the kind of change and impact that we are seeing in the world of criminal justice, and that's something that we really need to be aware of. So what I would like to tell all the students over here is that criminology is something, it doesn't attract so much attention. I know when I was speaking about this to some of our members, and they kind of felt that is there a need to prioritize on the study of criminology, because normally law the regular courses in law kind of attract a lot of attention. We talk about medicine, we talk about engineering, but we don't give that same amount of importance to criminology. But that's something that's very, very important. Just like, I'd like to give an analogy of, medicine. If doctors kind of don't study disease, they'll not be able to cure patients. And similarly, if we don't study about crime and criminals, we'll not be able to stop crime. So I think it's very important for people, young people, for us to be alert and alive to the reality of the world today that we live in. And that's something that's very important there. I'm delighted that this conference is being held about different aspects of criminology. I'm sure that it will be a worthwhile conference. I've seen the various themes that are there in the conference, the various topics that you've kind of taken up for this particular program. And all I'd say is that these are not just academic programs. You all might be a gathering of maybe about 500, 600, 1,000, delegates, debating about all different aspects in this particular sector. So I think it's important that whatever you do, whatever discussions you have, you can be absolutely certain that this might just impact the world that we live in. It might just end up in saving somebody's life. So that's how important these debates and discussions and conversations that will take place in this particular conference over the next 2 or 3 days. I'm not going to take too much of a time because I'm waiting to listen to the Honorable Law Minister to share his views on this particular conference. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone present over here for putting this on the top of our priority, because this is something that is much needed. And the greatness of a country is always defined by the kind of the protection that we can afford to the weaker section of society, to the vulnerable section of society. And I think that's what this conference is all about. It's got a more deeper meaning than just being a conference on criminology. It's about making sure that we work collectively together towards ensuring that we create these debates, we create these discussions, we prepare for having impactful outcomes in order to make sure that we live in a society where every citizen of this country, where every citizen of the world gets protected and is not vulnerable anymore. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. It's my privilege to introduce you to the chief guest, Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal, sir. He is a distinguished Indian statesman and currently serves as the Honorable Union Minister of State, Independent Charge for Law and Justice, and Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs in the Government of India. He represents the Bikaner constituency of Rajasthan in the Lok Sabha and has been elected to Parliament multiple times. Born on 20th December 1953 in Bikaner, Rajasthan, Sir holds academic qualifications including MA in Political Science, LLB and an MBA, and also studied in Sri Dungal College, Bikaner at the University of the Philippines. Before entering politics, he served as an IAS officer, bringing with him extensive administrative experience. Over the years, he has held several important portfolios in the Union government, including finance and corporate affairs, water resources, parliamentary affairs, heavy industry, and culture. Known for his commitment to strengthening legal institutions and promoting accessible justice, an honorable minister continues to play a key role in shaping India's legal and parliamentary framework. It's now my privilege to invite our chief guest to the dais for his address.
मेरा ये जो सेशन होगा थोड़ा इंटरैक्टिव होगा। जो पीछे बैठे, मुझे खड़े लगते हो, बैठे हो ना, तो पीछे एकदम लास्ट बैठे हो ना, खड़े खड़े थक जाओगे ना, दिक्कत होगी। आगे कुर्सियां खाली भी है और उधर भी पीछे है, तो मैं पहले पीछे से शुरू करूंगा। इंटरैक्टिव होगा मेरा सेशन। मेरी भाषा समझ में आ रही है क्या? आ रही है ना? यस और नो तो बोल दो। हाँ, तो मेरा सेशन जो है वो इंटरैक्टिव होगा, तो आप थोड़ा अलर्ट मोड में आ जाइए। अलर्ट, इधर भी और पीछे भी, जहाँ भी। 7th इंटरनेशनल एंड 46th इंडियन
क्रिमिनोलॉजी कॉन्फ्रेंस, बहुत ही अच्छा सब्जेक्ट आपने चुना और शायद मुझे बताया गया कि 3 दिन का है, 6, 7 और 8। 8 को हमारे बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट डे है, क्या है बताओ? अंतर्राष्ट्रीय पुरुषों को थोड़ा नाराज होने की जरूरत नहीं है। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय महिला दिवस पे समापन करेंगे और इक्वलिटी को हम मेंटेन करेंगे। ये पुरुषों की भी जिम्मेदारी है कि हम इक्वलिटी को मेंटेन करेंगे, इसलिए शायद इन्होंने चुना होगा ये दिन 6, 7 और 8। 6 तारीख को अपन बात कर रहे हैं नवी मुंबई में डीवाई पाटिल डीम्ड यूनिवर्सिटी में। ये दिन आपके लिए भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रहने वाला, मेरे लिए भी। मेरा सेशन इंटरेक्टिव होगा। आपको मैं फिर कह रहा हूँ, पीछे खड़े हो थके नहीं तो इधर आके बैठ जाइए, नहीं तो मैं शुरू उधर से ही करूंगा, ठीक है ना? क्या बीच से शुरू करना, उधर से करना? चलिए, तो आज के इस प्रोग्राम में मंच पर उपस्थित हमारे डीवाई पाटिल साहब, आप चांसलर हैं इस यूनिवर्सिटी के, भी आपने बोला कुछ वनरेबल सेक्शन की बात करी, कुछ वीकर सेक्शन ऑफ द सोसाइटी की बात करी। मेरा भी उसमें मैं टॉपिक यहीं से ले रहा हूँ, एक विषय रहेगा। हमारे मंच पे प्रोफेसर एनके चक्रवर्ती जी हैं, ये मेरे साथ पहले भी कई बार मंच पे रह चुके हैं। इन्होंने भी कुछ हिस्ट्री की बात की कि हम कहाँ से चले और वैदिक एज तक ये चले गए। आपके भी सब्जेक्ट कुछ मैं लेऊंगा इस इंटरेक्शन में। हमारे प्रोफेसर पी माधव, सोमा सुंदरम जी और ये हमारे प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर करुणा, यहाँ से भी मैं शुरू कर सकता हूँ, लेकिन मैं प्रभावित हुआ एक हमारे एंकर जो अंजना है, शायद मैंने पता लगाया तो स्टूडेंट, आप लोग ताली बजा सकते हो भी ऐसा। क्या हैप्पीनेस, आपने थोड़ा हैप्पीनेस बैठी थी? अभी विषय आया था ना कि राजा ही हैप्पी हो सकता है, आप नहीं हो सकते क्या? तो जोरदार ताली बजा दीजिए इसके लिए। सेक्रेटरी आईएससी हमारे एलन कुमार जी ने कुछ रिपोर्टें रखी। अब शुरू करता हूँ। ओके, अपन बॉम्बे में बैठे, ठीक है? यहाँ एक क्रिमिनोलॉजी का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण केस आप लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा, नानावटी केस। पढ़ा किसी ने? पढ़ा? क्या केस था जी? किसी को जानकारी? क्यों छोड़ा फिर जोरी ने उसको? क्या केस था? कल में तो होमोसाइड, ठीक है, अपने किताबों पढ़ते हैं। क्या केस था? क्या केस था? उधर से शुरू करिए। क्या केस था? कहां थे नानावटी साहब जब गोली मार रहे थे? कहां थे? आहूजा के घर में या फिल्म देख रहे थे?
देखने बच्चों को छोड़ा है।
हाँ, ये इनके लिए ताली बजाइए ना। क्या नाम है? प्रोफेसर कविता सिंह के लिए जोरदार ताली बजाइए। गोली मार दी, फिर भी सूरी ने छोड़ दिया। क्यों भाई? सडन प्रोवोकेशन। आप जुडिशियल हो क्या? इनके लिए ताली बजाइए। लेकिन एक शब्द यूज किया इन्होंने, प्रोफेसर करुणा, मैं आपसे ही शब्द चुरा दूंगा। आपने एक शब्द यूज किया, सोशल कंडीशन। क्रिमिनोलॉजी को डेवलप करने में योगदान देता। यहां जूरी ने जो तय किया कि हमारे इंडिया में, ये बॉम्बे का ही केस है भैया, ध्यान है क्या किसी को? क्या थे नानावटी? बताओ कौन सी पोस्ट पे थे? आपको तो काफी पता है। उधर नेवी ऑफिसर थे। क्या बोलते हैं उनको? कुछ समय तो पोस्ट थी, क्या थी? हाईएस्ट पोस्ट पे थे, ये मानिए आप। और हमारे यहाँ जो पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम था उनके भी बहुत करीब थे। उनके भी उस समय जो सिस्टम था, ये कब केस है? मेरे ख्याल में 57 था। कब बटे था? 57 कब का है? 1957 का केस होगा, 59 होगा। ये नानावटी वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र, इतना शानदार केस है। अब ये अब आए हैं तो आपको ही पूछना पड़ेगा, मुझे लगता है। तो ये सोशल कंडीशन क्या थी, ये जूरी ने उस समय, अब जूरी का ये शायद लास्ट ट्रायल, देखिए आगे क्या नाम है आपका? बलराज जी के लिए जोरदार ताली बताओ। ये लास्ट टाइम भी जूरी की साहब भारत में क्रिमिनल जस्टिस सिस्टम का इंपॉर्टेंट केस है ये नानावटी, लेकिन जूरी के लोगों ने इनको छोड़ दिया। पता है आपको क्या निर्णय था उनका? 8 कह रहे थे नहीं, इसका कोई अपराध नहीं, एक ही कह रहा था अपराध। यहां ये सोशल कंडीशन जो है उसको हो सकता है इसे एक आदमी नहीं देखा जूरी के मेंबर ने। उनको पूछा आपने क्यों गोली मारी? आपकी वाइफ के वो लवर है, प्रेम करते हैं आपकी वाइफ से। पर नानावटी जी कह रहे कि हमारी इंडियन सोसाइटी में ऐसी सोशल कंडीशन कि मैं हस्बैंड हूं और मेरी पत्नी कहीं किसी के साथ घूम रही है और कंप्रोमाइज पोजीशन में, तो मैं रह नहीं सका। ये सडन प्रोवोकेशन यहां आपने डिफाइन किया, मैं रह नहीं सका। गोली मेरे पास थी, पिस्टल चला दी, उसकी डेथ हो गई। आहूजा, आहूजा क्या नाम? क्या नाम है पूरा? प्रेम आहूजा। आपका पीछे पीछे एडवोकेट रंजन राजपूत के लिए पूरा जोरदार ताली बजाओ। उसने ये कहा भी मेरा नाम ही प्रेम है, इसे मैं प्रेम कर रहा था। ऐसा नहीं चलता, ऐसा चलता नहीं ना सोसाइटी में, उन्होंने नहीं चल सकता। तो मैं एकदम सडन प्रोवोकेशन आगे कई तरह के इशू यहाँ सेटल होते हैं नानावटी केस में। मोटिव क्या था, मेंस दिया, इस पे भी बहस होती है। सडन प्रोवोकेशन, मैंने तुरंत देखा, मुझे लगा मेरी पत्नी जो है किसी प्रेमी के साथ है, कंप्रोमाइज पोजीशन में है। बड़े आदमी थे नानावटी साहब, छोटे आदमी मार दिए। देखा लोगों ने, उन्होंने भी स्वीकार किया, लेकिन जूरी ने क्यों छोड़ा? कौन बताएगा? पीछे जाति क्या? जाति क्या?
प्रेम आहूजा एक सेक्शन ऑफ कम्युनिटी से थे और हमारे नानावटी थे वो एक सेक्शन ऑफ कम्युनिटी थे। पूरे केस में दोनों कम्युनिटी को
नहीं, आप उसको जाति के बजाय सोशल कंडीशन, करुणा के लिए ताली बजाओ ना, क्या शब्द यूज किया? अब करुणा की ताली बजाइए छोटा, अब जाति को भी तो जाति को प्रूफ चाहिए। सोशल कंडीशन सोसाइटी में ये चीजें थी, आप तो कह रहे हो वो भी थी, लेकिन फिर भी गोली तो चलाई ना, या इसको नहीं मानोगे? क्या नाम है आपका? चिराग। चिराग के लिए जोरदार ताली बजाओ। सही से नाम, लेकिन पीछे पीछे भाई, पीछे सबसे पीछे तो स्टूडेंट ही है सही ना, सबसे पीछे, सबसे पीछे। हाँ एक ही तो है, रूम में एक ही है ना। क्या नाम है? हाँ हाँ यस, आपको क्या क्यों छोड़ा दूरी ने? आप स्टूडेंट हैं, आपके मन में नहीं आता कभी ये नानावटी केस पढ़ते हुए कि क्यों छोड़ा दूरी ने? पीछे आप बताइए क्यों छोड़ा दूरी ने? बाद में सजा हुई ना, लेकिन जूरी ने छोड़ा उनको। ये जूरी का लास्ट ट्रायल था। उन्होंने कहा ये हैबिचुअल ये अपराधी नहीं है नानावटी, ये कोई अपराध करते हुए घूमता ऐसा नहीं है। एक ऐसा सडन प्रोवोकेशन इनको आया तो इनका मन खराब हो गया। उन्होंने कहा क्या पड़ा ऐसी दुनियादारी में, और पिस्टल निकाली और प्रेम आहूजा को मार दिया, छोड़ दिया। आप उसको ठीक मानते? आप क्रिमिनल जस्टिस सिस्टम के विद्यार्थी, उस डीन, उस प्रोफेसर है, क्या मानते? बोलिए।
उसमें सर सोशल कंडीशन उसको जो ठीक नहीं मानते, लेकिन आजकल के हमारे सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अडल्ट्री को लीगलाइज किया और आपका जो बीएनएस है,
नहीं मैं इसी में आ रहा हूँ नानावटी में। आपका क्या नाम है सर? एक क्या नाम है? क्या नाम? मिराजुद्दीन। देखिए मिराजुद्दीन साहब ने तो सबसे ये यूज किया, ये आपके ट्रायल में ही आपके थॉट आ गया। जो आपका थॉट था, जो बाद में जो जूरी का लास्ट ये ट्रायल था, उसके बाद जब सेशन के पास गया, सेशन के पास गया, किसके पास गया? सेशन, उसने सजा दे दी। आपका थॉट भी आया, लेकिन क्या करुणा का थॉट नहीं आएगा? करुणा का थॉट नहीं आएगा। सोशल कंडीशन भी मायने रखती है। बड़ा विषय बना कि नानावटी साहब प्राइम मिनिस्टर नेहरू जी के भी साथ थे, पता है ना आपको? क्या ध्यान नहीं है आपको? नहीं है ध्यान। यहाँ राज्यपाल कौन था उसमें पता है?
विजयलक्ष्मी पंडित।
हाँ, बहन ही थी नेहरू जी की। नहीं है क्या पता? आपका क्या नाम है? अनिल जी। सारी बता मुझे पता। ये समझ में आ रहा है क्या आपको? यही क्रिमिनल जस्टिस सिस्टम को समझने के लिए आप बैठे हो। एक ही केस में कई चीजें हैं। अपराधी कोई ट्राइबल एरिया का भी हो सकता है, लेकिन उसका इंटेंशन नहीं होगा अपराध करने का, लेकिन उसको लगा क्या करें। जैसे एक पेड़ कटाई का विषय भी किसने रखा? चक्रवर्ती जी ने रखा कि कई बार कि हम अपराध करना नहीं चाहते, लेकिन हमें मजबूर किया जाता, नहीं हम खाएंगे क्या, पेड़ काट दे। पेड़ काटना तो अपराध। सोशल कंडीशन, आप इसको अंडरलाइन करना। ये मेरे ख्याल में डायरेक्टर है करुणा, पर मेरे ख्याल में साधारण डायरेक्टर नहीं है, बहुत एक्सपर्ट स्पेशलिस्ट डायरेक्टर। उससे कई चीजें निकलती है। अब चलिए अपने सिस्टम को मैं यहाँ शुरू करता हूँ। चक्रवर्ती साहब ने जो हिस्ट्री, अब बताइए 1757 क्यों फेमस है भारतीय इतिहास में? 1757 दूसरा इमरजेंसी दिया। 1757 बैटल ऑफ प्लासी। क्या नाम है आपका? अर्चिता मुखर्जी। और चक्रवर्ती साहब कहीं मिले होंगे या तो पता होगा। प्लासी उधर ही था, लेकिन इंपॉर्टेंट डेट थी। ये कब आए ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी वाले हमारे यहाँ, पता आपको किसी? 1608 में। कहाँ आए? सूरत। और खाली इतना ही कहा व्यापार करना हमें, जहांगीर ने मना कर दिया। लेकिन वहां नूरजहां नाम की एक और महिला थी, किसी ने कहा नूरजहां के पास जाओ, वो पता नहीं क्या जेवरात सोने के आभूषण दिए, क्या हो। उन्होंने कहा करो आप व्यापारी तो करना आपको। 1608 में एंटर करती है ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी इंडिया एज ए व्यापारी। ये इसका जिक्र भी सब कर ही रहे थे हमारे चक्रवर्ती साहब। लेकिन धीरे धीरे वो आकर के व्यापार में हैदराबाद, बॉम्बे, कलकत्ता भी 30-35 काम लेकर के कलकत्ता एक अलग किया। ये सब आके व्यापारी बड़े बन गए। सिराजुद्दौला और क्लाइव था, क्यों? क्लाइव था, इसके बीच में लड़ाई होती 1757 माइलस्टोन। और अंग्रेजों को रेवेन्यू राइट्स मिलते हैं पहली बार, व्यापारी से चेंज होते हैं। रेवेन्यू राइट्स मिलते हैं, थोड़े से शासक की भूमिका में आते हैं उड़ीसा, बंगाल, बिहार। बिहार का मतलब वर्तमान झारखंड भी उसमें सम्मिलित था, बंगाल का मतलब वर्तमान बांग्लादेश भी उसमें सम्मिलित था, उड़ीसा। और ये पूरा एरिया के रेवेन्यू राइट्स 1757 के बाद उनको मिल जाते हैं। बड़े आदमी बढ़ जाते हैं अंग्रेज। लेकिन रेगुलेशन का काम चालू रखते हैं। वो कह रहे नहीं, यहाँ इंडिया में रेगुलेशन जरूरी है। तो सबसे पहले रेगुलेशन एक्ट कब आया? 70। आपको करुणा जी के लिए दोबारा बता सकते हो? वहीं से शुरू किया 1773। लेकिन इसमें एक माइलस्टोन हमारे लॉ कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया के लिए, हमारे लॉ मिनिस्ट्री के लिए भी एक माइलस्टोन है 1833। ये हमारे लिए माइलस्टोन। अब कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि अंग्रेजों ने यहाँ आकर के लॉ कमीशन टाइप एक कमीशन बनाया, कुछ लोग कहते हैं कमेटी बनाई, लेकिन उन्होंने कोडिफिकेशन का काम शुरू करने का विचार कि यहाँ अलग अलग प्रथाएं हैं, कोई ट्राइबल है, कोई फॉरेस्ट में रहता है, कोई नदी के किनारे रहता है, कोई पहाड़ में रहता है, डेजर्ट में रहता है, कोई समुद्र के किनारे रहता है, कोई नॉर्थ इंडियन है, कोई साउथ इंडियन है, कोई भाषा बोलता है, कोई भाषा बोलता है। एक नियम नहीं है। अपराध करते हैं, कुछ जातियों को कह दिया कि उस मोहल्ले में चले जाओ, वही जाति अपराध करती है, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है। लेकिन उस समय था विषय, कुछ अच्छे लोग आए, उन्होंने कहा कि ये आपने कैसे मान लिया कि यही जाति अपराध करे, ये क्राइम कास्ट है क्या, जिसका आप कंडीशन डाल देते। ये विषय भी आया, सोशल कंडीशन। चलते चलते आपको सबको पता है 1857 आ गया, लेकिन ठीक 100 साल 1757 प्लासी का युद्ध, 1857 हमारे स्वतंत्रता संग्राम का पहला आंदोलन। अंग्रेजों ने क्या कहा इसको? रिवोल्ट, म्यूटिनी। लेकिन जिस धरती पर अपन बैठे हैं, इस महाराष्ट्र की धरती में जन्मवीर सावरकर जी ने कहा कि ये हमारे स्वतंत्रता संग्राम का पहला आंदोलन। विवाद हुआ, विवाद हुआ। अब वो कोई क्राइम करने वाला आदमी थोड़ी थे, उन्होंने भारत की महिमा का उल्लेख किया। यहाँ भी सोशल कंडीशन बोला, हम तो शासन करने वाले लोग हैं, हमारे खिलाफ बोलने वाला ये कहाँ है, कौन है ये, पकड़ दो इसको, अपराधी है। अपराधी नहीं थे, समुद्र में कूद गए, फिर भी पकड़ में आ गए। अंडमान निकोबार द्वीप चले गए। अब यहाँ सोशल कंडीशन, पॉलिटिकल कंडीशन, इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन, कुछ भी समझ लीजिए कंडीशन थी, और वो उनको अपराधी मान लिया और उनको सजा भी 2 होती, आजीवन कारावास भी 2 होती है उनको, वो चले गए। ये कई कारण, क्रिमिनल सिस्टम हमारा डेवलप होते होते 1857 के बाद सीधा 1858 में कोडिफिकेशन शुरू होता है, सीधा। और मेरे ख्याल में उस समय लॉर्ड मेकाले यहाँ आते हैं। लॉर्ड मेकाले को हम क्या समझते हैं कि ये एजुकेशन का काम कर रहा था, नहीं, ये बात था लॉ मिनिस्टर। ध्यान रखना, तो वाइसराय की काउंसिल थी, उसका जो मेंबर, लॉ मेंबर जिसको बोलते हैं हम, वही लॉ मिनिस्टर होता था, वहां जाकर के रिपोर्ट करता था। लेकिन उसने रिपोर्ट को वहां की ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट में कि भारत को लंबे समय तक गुलाम रखना है, तो यहाँ के एजुकेशन सिस्टम को डिस्टर्ब करना पड़ेगा, गुरुकुल प्रणाली को खत्म करना पड़ेगा। इस एजुकेशन सिस्टम से यहाँ कल्चरल यूनिटी रहती है, और यूनिटी को डिवाइड करिए और हमें रूल करना लंबा। तो उस भाषण के कारण हम क्या कहते हैं कि मेकाले ने ये सारा सिस्टम खराब कर दिया एजुकेशन का। उसने एजुकेशन का ही नहीं, हमारा लॉ का सिस्टम भी डिस्टर्ब किया। पता है, आयरिश पिनल कोड के झटके में कह दिया कि इंडियन पिनल कोड, कोई अध्ययन नहीं किया हमारी सोसाइटी का। हमारी सोसाइटी कैसे, आयरिश सोसाइटी अलग होती है, थोप दिया। सीआरपीसी आ गई, आईपीसी आ गई, एविडेंस एक्ट आ गया, देश आजाद हो गया। किसी ने सोचा ही नहीं कि उसके बनाए हुए कानून अभी भी चल रहे। कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने सोचा कि मेकाले के बनाए हुए कानून से अब देश चलने वाला नहीं है, इसलिए तीनों जो कानून है वो चेंज कोई कारण से किए। आप कई बार कहते हैं कि क्या ये क्या, उससे क्या होगा। इतनी टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंज आ गया, इतने अपराध करने के तरीके आ गए, साइबर अपराध आ गया, ये सब चीजें उसमें नहीं थी। इसलिए अंग्रेजों को भारतीय नागरिकों को दंड देना था, इसलिए वो दंड संहिता लेके आए। नरेंद्र मोदी जी को भारतीय नागरिकों को न्याय देना है, इसलिए वो न्याय संहिता लेके आए। तो थोड़ी जोर से बतानी पड़ेगी। मद्रास में जब ये लागू होने वाला था, उन्होंने कहा कि ये तो हमारे समझ में नहीं आएगा, हम बोल नहीं पाएंगे। तो मैंने कहा पूरा थोड़ी बोल दो, इंडियन कोर्ट पूरा तो आईपीसी बोलते हो ना, तो भारतीय न्याय संहिता का बीएनएस बोलो, बीएनएस तो बोल सकते हो ना। तो उन्होंने बीएनएस बोलना शुरू किया, लागू भी हो गए। 1 जुलाई 24 से लागू हुआ। उसमें 5 हमारे जो पोर्टल सिस्टम में ई पोर्टल है, बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। लोग कहते हैं ये क्या है, यही महत्वपूर्ण चीज है। जैसे मैं जज हूं, मैंने किसी कैदी को छोड़ा, इक्विटल कर दिया, लेकिन वो जेल सुप्रिंटेंडेंट के पास पहुंचते 2 दिन लगते थे। कोई अगर दूर है तो 3 दिन लगते थे, पुलिस के लोग भी बैठे होंगे 3 दिन। और अगर 6 बजे पहुंचे तो जेल सुप्रिंटेंडेंट कहता कि अब 6 बज गए भी कल आना। अरे भैया मजिस्ट्रेट ने छोड़ दिया, आप 3 दिन तक उसको कैसे कैदी रख सकते हो जी? लेकिन हमारे पास कोई सिस्टम ही नहीं था उसको ठीक करने का। अब सिस्टम आ गया, मेरे पास ई कोर्ट है, पोर्टल, ओके, सीसीटीएम में, और जेल सुप्रीटेंडेंट के पास ई प्रिजन है। जैसे ही मैं ऑर्डर करूंगा, मैं ई कोर्ट पोर्टल पे अपलोड करूंगा, और जैसे ई कोर्ट पोर्टल पे मैं अपलोड करूंगा तो जेल सुप्रीटेंडेंट साहब देख लेंगे ई प्रिजन पे, और देख लेंगे कहते कि कैदी छूट गया। तो जो निर्णय किया जज साहब ने, उस निर्णय की अनुपालना 10 मिनट में हो गई। ये सिस्टम ठीक है या 3 दिन तक अनुपालना नहीं होती थी वो सिस्टम ठीक है? कौन सा ठीक है? कौन सा ठीक? यही ठीक है ना, इसलिए लड़ा पड़ा, और कोई विषय नहीं था, इसलिए इसको लाना पड़ा। टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंटरवेंशन भी बहुत थे, चीजें भी बहुत थी, इसलिए हम इसको लेके आए। अब एक विषय आया है इंडस्ट्री 4.0 का, AI आ गई। अच्छा आप बताइए, पीछे इंडस्ट्री 4.0 आया तो इंडस्ट्री 1.0 भी तो आया होगा ना कभी? वो कब आया? पीछे इंडस्ट्री 1.0 कब आया? कब आया भाई? जब इस संसार में स्टीम का आविष्कार हुआ तो लोगों ने कहा चोरियां ज्यादा होगी, ये क्रिमिनल जस्टिस सिस्टम सब जगह चलता है, तो ये रुका थोड़ी। स्टीम का आविष्कार हुआ, ट्रेड बढ़ा, समुद्र की दूरियां कम हुई, रुकता नहीं, टेक्नोलॉजी रुकती नहीं है। तो इंडस्ट्री 1.0 आया, जब स्टीम का आविष्कार हुआ तो उसको कहा इट इज इंडस्ट्री 1.0। और इंडस्ट्री 2.0 कब आया? जब बिजली का आविष्कार हुआ, तब भी लोगों ने कहा ये लालटेन बनाने वाले क्या करेंगे? ये पेट्रोमैक्स देखा कभी? अब आजकल रहता नहीं, आजकल म्यूजियम ही रहता। ये पेट्रोमैक्स बनाने वाले क्या करेंगे? बेरोजगार हो जाएंगे, चोरियां भी बढ़ जाएगी। लोगों ने कहा चोरियां कैसे बढ़ जाएगी? सब चोर देख लेगा इसका सामान अलमारी के ऊपर ये पड़ा है, लाइट जगा करके ये पड़ा है, लाइट मतलब तो लाइट रुकी क्या? लाइट तो है। स्टीम इंजन भी नहीं रुका, लाइट भी नहीं रुकी। और इंडस्ट्री 3.0 कब आया? जब हमारे सिस्टम पे कंप्यूटर आया, वो भी नहीं रुका ना। बट नाउ वी हैव एंटर्ड इनटू ए एरा ऑफ इंडस्ट्री 4.0। और क्या क्या कंपोनेंट है? आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, बोलते जाओ, 3D प्रिंटिंग, रोबोटिक्स है या नहीं है? IoT नहीं है क्या? ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी, कितने कंपोनेंट है? ये रुकेंगे क्या? ये आएंगे, हमारे जीवन में आएंगे। ये चैलेंज है। साइबर अपराध भी बढ़ेंगे। साइबर अपराध का मतलब पहले जिक्र ही नहीं था, इसलिए चेंज भी करते रहना चाहिए, ऐसी कॉन्फ्रेंस भी करते रहना चाहिए जिससे चिंतन मनन मंथन हो कि अपराध किस कारण से नए नए रूप में आ रहे हैं, किस कारण से हम उनको जल्दी पकड़ नहीं पा रहे हैं, हम पकड़ें, सजा जल्दी दें। यही तो ऐसी कॉन्फ्रेंस का पर्पज होता है, या और कोई पर्पज है? यही है ना, बोलो तो सही। तो इंडस्ट्री 4.0 के एज में हम यहाँ एंटर कर चुके हैं। ये टेक्नोलॉजिकल डेवलपमेंट भी आएगा और कई तरह के अपराध पहले भी होते थे, कंट्रोल भी होते थे, थाना भी है, पुलिस भी है, प्रोसिक्यूशन वाले भी है, जज भी है, सोसाइटी भी है। लेकिन इसके बावजूद भी ये क्रिमिनोलॉजी पे हम चर्चा कम करते थे। हम जो सब सब्जेक्ट होते थे उस पर ज्यादा चर्चा करते थे। मैं इनको हमारे DY पाटिल डीम्ड यूनिवर्सिटी के चांसलर साहब को और हमारे ISC के जो पदाधिकारी हैं उनकी बधाई देता हूं कि शानदार सब्जेक्ट सुना, जोरदार ताली। एक विषय और आया, उस विषय को कहकर के मैं समाप्त करूंगा। विषय आया इम्पार्शियलिटी इन जस्टिस। यही था किसका? आपका था क्या? हाँ आपका ही था। तो ये तो आदमी तो जोरदार है सर, चक्रवर्ती, ताली बजा सकते हो। मैं एक क्लास लेता हूँ, आप इसको कैसे लेते हो? आप भी पाटिल साहब भी बैठे हैं, हमारे चांसलर साहब भी, विजय जी, आपने उभय भारती का नाम किसी ने सुना है क्या? उभय भारती कोई जान? आप अंतर्राष्ट्रीय महिला दिवस भी 8 तारीख को आता है, कोई जानता है उभय भारती को? शंकराचार्य जी को जानते हैं? नाम सुना है? तो शंकराचार्य जी ने चैलेंज किया कि मैं शास्त्रार्थ में सबसे अगवा हूं, मैं किसी को भी साथ साथ करने के लिए तैयार हूँ, तो वो चैलेंज किसने स्वीकार किया? मंडन मिश्र। बोला तो सही, कोई धीरे क्यों बोल रहे हैं? वैदिक काल की चीज है तो क्या याद तो रही है। मंडन मिश्र ने वो चैलेंज स्वीकार किया। आइए शंकराचार्य, मैं आपका चैलेंज स्वीकार करता हूँ, और साथ साथ एक जगह इकट्ठे हो गए। अब उस गांव में ऐसा कोई विद्वान नहीं शंकराचार्य जी के बराबर, मंडन मिश्र के बराबर। अब जज कौन बने, भाई जीता कौन, ये भी तो तय करना पड़ता है ना। आप जब ये अवार्ड देंगे अभी, तो बेस्ट अवार्ड कौन देंगे? कोई कमेटी बनाई होगी ना, आपने तय किया होगा इसको अवार्ड देंगे, तो जीते कौन जज बने। तो अब यहाँ पे एक प्रस्ताव आता है शंकराचार्य जी को कि मंडन मिश्र जी, आपकी पत्नी के बारे में सुना है, बहुत विद्वान, उसका नाम है उबे भाई, वो महिला है, ध्यान रखना, ये वैदिक एज की बात करता हूं। तो अब वहां मंडन मिश्र साहब कहते हैं कि वो मेरी पत्नी है, आप स्वीकार कर लेंगे कि वो जज बने? तो शंकराचार्य जी क्या कहते हैं कि वो विदुषी है। कहाँ विदुषी है, मैंने भी खूब सुना है। शंकराचार्य जी ने कहा, बोला मेरी पत्नी है, मैं जानता हूँ विदुषी है, लेकिन आप स्वीकार कर लेंगे क्या? क्यों? आप कह दोगे कि निष्पक्ष नहीं है। आपने अभी शब्द यूज किया ना इम्पार्शियलिटी का, क्या कहीं आरोप लग जाएगा? लेकिन दोनों ने स्वीकार किया। 3 दिन तक बहस चली, किसी नतीजे में बहस नहीं पहुंची। तो यहाँ एक आउट ऑफ बॉक्स सोचने का तरीका, हम कभी कहते हैं अरे इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस ने आउट ऑफ बॉक्स बहुत जोरदार सोचा, कभी कहते हैं यूएस के उस कोर्ट ने, फेडरल कोर्ट ने आउट ऑफ बॉक्स बहुत जोरदार सोचा, कभी हम कहते हैं इंग्लैंड की प्रिवी काउंसिल ने आउट ऑफ बॉक्स बहुत अच्छा सोचा। यहाँ तो मैं उदाहरण दे रहा हूँ वैदिक काल का, उभय भारती का, ये सबसे बेस्ट उदाहरण है आउट ऑफ बॉक्स का। जब पता लगा बराबर है, किसको जीता हुआ घोषित करूं, दुविधा में आ गई, तो एक दिन सुबह सुबह जंगल में गई उभय भारती, 2 माला बनाई ताजे फूल की। माला बना करके एक माला अपने पतिदेव के गले में डाली, दूसरी माला शंकराचार्य जी के गले में डाली, और कहा अभ्यास करते रहना, मैं 1 प्रहर के बाद आऊंगी। 1 प्रहर का मतलब होता है 3 घंटे, 24 घंटे में 8 प्रहर होते हैं उस समय, वैदिक काल की बात कर रहा हूं मैं। तो 3 घंटे बाद आऊंगी। तो जब 3 घंटे बाद आई और 15-20 मिनट में उसने हलचल करनी शुरू की और कहा मैं निर्णय सुनाऊंगी, तो पहले तो पतिदेव ने ऑब्जेक्शन किया, अभी तो आप 3-4 घंटे से बाहर थे, आप अभी कैसे थोड़ा और रुक जाइए। कहने नहीं, मैं आप निर्णय सुनाने वाली। शंकराचार्य जी ने आप सुनाना चाहो तो सुना दीजिए। हमने दोनों ने जज आपको तय किया था, इसलिए आपका जो निर्णय होगा वो मान्य होगा। अब उभय भारती का निर्णय सुनाती है, और उभय भारती कहती है अपने पतिदेव को कि आप हार गए और शंकराचार्य जी जीत गए। तो सबसे पहले पति ऑब्जेक्शन करते हैं कि आप तो बाहर थे, आपने ये निर्णय कैसे कर लिया? आप जब यहां तक थे तब तो आपने कहा बराबर है आप, और अभी आप 1 प्रहर से ज्यादा समय बाहर थे, और अब आपने आते ही ये निर्णय कैसे कर लिया? तो इम्पार्शियलिटी इन जस्टिस जब होता है तो वो आदमी अमर हो जाता है। अब जुडिशरी के लोग हो तो थोड़ा देखना, ये जो निष्पक्षता से न्याय करते हैं ना, वो आदमी अमर हो जाता है। यहाँ उभय भारती इस मंच से खड़ा होकर के मैं कह रहा हूँ अमर होगी। कैसे किया उसने आउट ऑफ बॉक्स फैसला? 2 माला पहना के गई थी और अपने पतिदेव को समझाती कि आप हार गए, मैं कह रही हूं। तो कैसे हार गया मैं? बोला ऐसे हार गए कि जब मैं बाहर थी तभी आपकी डिबेट चल रही थी, माला थी ताजा फूलों की, आपके गले में भी थी, आपके कपड़ा नहीं पहना हुआ है, शंकराचार्य जी गले में भी थी, उनके भी कपड़ा नहीं पहना हुआ है, लेकिन आपका गुस्सा इतना तेज था डिबेट के समय कि माला थोड़ी सूख गई, मुरझा गई। डिबेट में गुस्सा नहीं आना चाहिए पतिदेव, इसलिए आप हार गए और शंकराचार्य जी जीत गए। ये आउट ऑफ बॉक्स फैसला उभयवादी का है। सबसे ज्यादा खुशी इनको होती है आपके लिए। हाँ आपका क्या नाम है आपका? रूपा। मैं एक्चुअली टीचर हूँ, ध्यान रखना, डोमिनेशन को हूँ, लेकिन रूपाली के लिए जोरदार, रूपा के लिए जोरदार ताली। उसकी आंखों में क्या चमक थी, उभय भारती का नाम ले रहा था तब भी, और जब उभय भारती को याद कर रहा था तब भी, और ताली बजाने में सबसे पहले शुरुआत करी रूपा ने, और जोरदार ताली बजाई। क्या करते हैं आप? ये प्रोफेसर है यहाँ के, तब तो इस यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए भी ताली बजानी पड़ेगी। किया आपने। अब मैं समापन की ओर बढ़ रहा हूँ। मेरे ख्याल में मैंने जो सब्जेक्ट यहाँ आए थे वो करीब करीब पूरे कर लिया, लेकिन एक सब्जेक्ट बॉम्बे का बचता है। अभी हमने कुछ कानूनों को समाप्त किया। हमने 40,000 से ज्यादा जो कंप्लाइंस बर्डन थी अननेसेसरी की हमने खत्म की, लेकिन कानून भी काफी खत्म किए। तो अननेसेसरी थिंग से आवश्यकता नहीं, आपको पता नहीं कौन सा कानून और क्या लागू किया। जैसे कॉटन, बोला कॉटन आपको उगानी पड़ेगी थी परमिशन लेने की, क्या जरूरत थी परमिशन लेने की? उस समय होगी उनको जरूरत, अब क्या जरूरत थी? ऐसे कई कानून थे हमने समाप्त। लेकिन एक कानून जो आपके बॉम्बे से भी संबंधित है वो था इंडियन सक्सेशन एक्ट 1925। क्या था वो? अंग्रेजों ने कहा कि अगर कोई बिल लिखेगा, कौन? मुस्लिम को छोड़कर, जो बॉम्बे प्रेसिडेंसी में रहने वाला कोई भी नागरिक वो बिल लिखेगा तो प्रोवाइड कराना पड़ेगा। बॉम्बे प्रेसिडेंसी, कलकत्ता प्रेसिडेंसी और मद्रास प्रेसिडेंसी, ये एक तरह का इक्वलिटी वाला कानून नहीं था, विभेदकारी था। लेकिन किसी ने सोचा नहीं, नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने सोचा, हमें बुलाया, तो ये कानून तो ठीक नहीं है। जैन को प्रोवाइड कराना, मुस्लिम को नहीं कराना, ऐसा क्यों कर सकते हैं सर? या तो सबके लिए हो, नहीं तो इसको खत्म करो। तो हमने इस कानून को खत्म कर दिया। अब मुझे पता नहीं इसका इतना प्रभाव होगा क्या। खत्म करने के बाद लोकसभा पार्लियामेंट दोनों जगह मेरा भाषण था। मैं बॉम्बे आया 3-4 दिन बाद, एयरपोर्ट में बहुत लोग आए। तो बिल्डिंग में काम करने वाले लोग थे, मैंने कहा यार इतने लोग कैसे आए? मेरे वकील भी तो आए, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट स्टैंडिंग काउंसिल, उन्होंने स्वागत किया। बात नहीं कि ये नई फौज कहां से आई? बोला साहब आपने जो इंडियन सक्सेशन एक्ट 1925 समाप्त किया है उसके लिए हम आपको बधाई देने आए हैं। ऐसा भी होता है सोसाइटी में, लेकिन हम जाने, हमें भी जाने कि ये क्या इतना प्रभाव डाल गया, इतना प्रभाव डाल जाता है। तो ऐसे कुछ काम जो प्रभाव डाल जाता है जीवन में, वही अपने को करने हैं। वैल्यू बेस्ड सोसाइटी बनानी है, अच्छे आचरण सीख के जाना है यूनिवर्सिटी और इस कॉन्फ्रेंसिप, और अवेयरनेस भी करनी, जिससे अपराधों में कमी भी आए, जल्दी वो पकड़े भी जाए, सजा भी मिले, ताकि दूसरा अपराध करने वाला 2 बार सोचे। यही बेस्ट सोसाइटी, अच्छी सोसाइटी, गुड सोसाइटी के लक्षण होते हैं, और ऐसे ही अच्छे देश के लक्षण होते हैं। तो अब मैं थोड़ा संगीतकार भी, तो मैं एक गाना गुनगुनाऊं, ठीक है? क्या वो आप जैसे तारीफ कैसे बता रहे जोरदार? क्या हुआ? मैं संगीतकार हूँ। अनिल जी नाम है आपका? अनिल जी है ना? अपनी किताब लाए हो? मैं एक लेखक भी हूँ, लेकिन लेखक में मैं कुछ नहीं हूँ। मैं लेखक हूँ, सब्जेक्ट मेरी पत्नी। तो मैंने मेरी पत्नी पे किताब लिखी है, एक शपथ हम सफर के साथ। बड़ी मुश्किल है भी पत्नी में किताब लिखना, बहुत मुश्किल। आप उसको 8 तारीख को दे सकते। उसका अंग्रेजी में किसी ने अनुवाद कर दिया, धरती भाई मिलसो, ये कुटुंब प्रबोधन, परिवार में कैसे हम अच्छा रहे, हैप्पीनेस कैसे बढ़े परिवार में। उस पे कोई जीवन में शादी के बाद कई उतार चढ़ाव आते हैं, कई बार मोड़ भी खतरनाक आ जाते हैं, रास्ता किधर से लें ये भी तय नहीं होता। तो मेरी इस बुक में छोटे छोटे फॉर्मूले, अगर आप घुमावदार मोड़ पे खड़े हो गए तो कौन सा रास्ता ठीक रहेगा, वो सूत्र है छोटे छोटे, और कुछ नहीं होता। लेकिन क्रेडिट मैंने मेरी पत्नी को दिया, तो उसके लिए थोड़ा पुरुषों को उसको थोड़ा स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा। कर लोगे क्या? वो लेकिन वो जो मेरी एक कविता है तो मेरे द्वारा लिखी हुई है, थोड़ा मैं गुनगुनाऊंगा। अगर आपके समझ में आए तो आप पीछे पीछे बाद में गुनगुना लेना, ध्यान में आए, क्योंकि संगीत भी आदमी को तनाव कम करने में बहुत मदद करता है। लेकिन नागरिक भी हैप्पी रहना चाहिए। अभी प्लूटो का जिक्र है, उसने एक स्कूल खोला, और स्कूल खोली तब उसने कहा मेरी स्कूल में तो ही आदमी प्रवेश ले सकते हैं जो गणित को समझता हो, गणित सीखना चाहता हो, और जो संगीत सीखना चाहता हो। पूछा उन्होंने प्लेटो को, किसी ऐसा क्यों किया? उन्होंने कहा संगीत से तनाव कम होता है और गणित से माइंड ठीक होता है, इसलिए गणित और संगीत दोनों की शिक्षा लेने वाला ही मेरी स्कूल में प्रवेश करे, बाकी आए नहीं, जरूरत नहीं है मुझे। ये उस समय प्लेटो में। तो ये संगीत का भी विषय है और भारत को विकसित भारत बनाने का भी विषय है। थोड़ा ये कंपोज, ये हमारे कुलकर्णी जी आप थोड़ा ढंग से इसको बाद में कंपोज करना, अभी तो मैं ऐसे ही गुनगुना रहा हूं, ठीक है। बोल इसके हैं, हम भारत के लोग, हमारे लिए सबसे बड़ी कानून की किताब है हमारी संविधान। Am I right? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन सबसे ऊपर है हमारे, वही हमारे देश का कानून है। तो उसमें पहला शब्द क्या है? वी द पीपल ऑफ, यही है ना, हम भारत के लोग। हम हैं भारत के लोग, ऐसा बन रहा सुखद संयोग। आपको सुख कैसे बन? तो ये विजय पाटिल साहब को किसी ने कहा थोड़ी था, ऐसी क्रिमिनोलॉजी में आप कॉन्फ्रेंस का, जब इस तरह के ऐसे अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटी में इस तरह की कॉन्फ्रेंस होगी और एक्सपर्ट आएंगे तो हमारे यहाँ अपराध कम होंगे नहीं होंगे, और भारत को विकसित बनाने में मदद करेंगे कि नहीं करेंगे? बताओ मेरे को। सहयोग बन रहा है इस देश में, शानदार नेतृत्व चल रहा है, कई तरह की परिस्थितियां आई, हर परिस्थितियों से भारत उभर करके आगे निकल रहा है। हम हैं भारत के लोग, अब आप गा सकते हो धीरे धीरे, ऐसी बात नहीं, आप भारत के लोग ही हो, आप भी भारत को विकसित बनाओगे, और कौन बनाए? हम हैं भारत के लोग, ऐसा बन रहा सुखद संयोग, भारत बनेगा विकसित, समर्थ सशक्त और सुरक्षित। हम हैं भारत के लोग, ऐसा बन रहा सुखद संयोग, भारत में होगा जस्टिस। आप नहीं चाहते हो क्या? प्रियम्बल में लिखा हुआ, भारत में होगा जस्टिस, सोशल, इकोनॉमिक और पॉलिटिकल। हम बनाएंगे भारत को विकसित, हम हैं भारत के लोग, हम हैं भारत के लोग, ऐसा बन रहा सुखद संयोग, वक्ति की बढ़ेगी गरिमा। यहाँ वक्ति को लेकर के बड़ा डिबेट हुई, लोगों ने कहा वक्ति लिखेंगे तो कोई समझेंगे आदमी की बात कर रहे हैं, बाबा साहब बी आर अम्बेडकर जिनका जिक्र यहाँ भी आया, उन्होंने कहा ह्यूमन बीइंग शब्द का मतलब महिला पुरुष दोनों, और वक्ति जहां भी यूज हुआ है भारत के दुनिया के दूसरे संविधानों में, दूसरे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में, वहां वक्ति से मतलब, पर्सन से मतलब महिला पुरुष दोनों है। तो आप यह वक्ति से ऐसा मत समझ लेना कि पुरुषों का विकास हो जाएगा महिला पीछे रह जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता, दोनों का विकास जरूरी। वक्ति की बढ़ेगी गरिमा, चाहे पुरुष हो महिला, भारत को बनाएंगे विकसित, हम हैं भारत के लोग, हम हैं भारत के लोग, बन रहा ऐसा सुखद संयोग। आपने मुझे बुलाया और सुनने का भी वादा रखा आपने, वो तो बैठे हैं, वो भी उनके लिए ताली बजा दो, वो बैठे, मैं समझा अभी भी समझा खड़े। तो इतना सुंदर कार्यक्रम हुआ, मुझे भी अच्छा लगा। नानावटी का केस भी आपको ध्यान में रहेगा या नहीं रहेगा? उभय भारती ध्यान रहेगा, और भारत को 2047 तक विकसित बनाना, ये ध्यान रहेगा। कौन बनाएगा? हम भारत के, हम भारत के। बहुत बहुत आभार, धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful address.
Madam.
Before concluding, I would like to invite Dr. Chirag Balyan, sir, Associate Professor at the Navi Patil University School of Law, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
आदरणीय मंत्री जी के इतने अच्छे संबोधन के बाद मैं आप सब लोगों से निवेदन करता हूँ, सबसे पहले आप अपनी सीट पे खड़े होइए एंड गिव हिम अ वेरी ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज। सर, आपका भाषण सुन के हमको आज बहुत प्रेरणा मिली। खासकर मैं क्रिमिनल लॉ का टीचर हूँ। जिस तरीके से आपने आज क्राइम समझाया कि क्राइम सिर्फ एक कानून में नहीं है, वो समाज में है, हमारे इतिहास में है, वो हमारी पॉलिटिक्स में है, वो हमारे अर्थशास्त्र में है। तो अगर हमें क्रिमिनल लॉ समझना है, अपराध कानून समझना है, तो हमें सब चीज की जानकारी होनी चाहिए। तो इसके लिए सर मैं आपका हार्दिक धन्यवाद करता हूँ। दूसरा, जो सर ने बताया, जो हमारा क्रिमिनल कानून है, जो दंड से न्याय की तरफ बढ़ा है, उसके लिए भी मुझे लगता है जोरदार ताली होनी चाहिए सर। हम सर ये उम्मीद करते हैं कि जो आज आपने हमें गाइडेंस दी है, उसको हम आगे के आने वाले 3 दिन को फॉलो करेंगे। हम ये भारत के लोग, जैसा आपने बोला, हम इस डीवाई पाटिल यूनिवर्सिटी का मंच यूज करके, इंडियन सोसाइटी ऑफ क्रिमिनोलॉजी का मंच यूज करके, जो भी हमारी मंथन होगी, चर्चा होगी, हम आपको एक रिपोर्ट के तौर में प्रस्तुत करेंगे। इसके बाद थैंक यू सो मच। इसके बाद मैं हमारे आदरणीय चांसलर सर को, विजय पाटिल सर को हार्टफेल थैंक्स देता हूँ फॉर द ल्यूसिड स्पीच he has given, for the facility he has provided us. Sir, I just want to tell you one thing. I'm very sure you take a lot of pride in this campus, in this building, but whenever we bring guests at School of Law, we take equal pride. So that is the charisma, that is the spark of this institution. Thank you so much for always providing the valuable guidance to us. Thanks to our Pro-Chancellor, thanks to our President of Indian Society of Criminology, Chairman Professor Madhav, our Director of Law School. Honorable Minister has the flight now, therefore I have to cut short this vote of thanks. Thank you everybody. This is not the end, this is the beginning of 3 days of conference. Thank you so much.
I request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
National anthem.